We've got another PCGS unboxing video, and surprisingly, this one only took 5 weeks. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure, and welcome back to my channel. We have another PCGS unboxing video, and I sent this out March 6th, and I got it back April 12th. I've been sitting on it. Well, it was delivered April 12th. I didn't pick it up until the 14th. So I've been sitting on it for a few days. I had other videos to put out, and now it's time to go ahead and do this unboxing. In this submission, we had the regular economy service. I think it's $27 grading per coin, plus any variety attributions. So the coins don't exceed $300 in this box. They all were lower grade or lower value coins. I went ahead and sent in some Morgan VAMs. Some are top 100, some are hot 50, some are just cool varieties. I sent in some of my nicest war nickels. I have 2 Morgans that I included in here that were not high in value, but might be upgrades for my current registry. And I'm trying to upgrade one of my V nickels from an NGC MS64 slab into something better from PCGS. So that's what we got in here. I think the first thing I'll do is go ahead and crack it open, get out the invoice and all that stuff, and we'll see what we got. Give me just a second. We'll see what box I got as well. So I got the PCGS box out of the shipping box, and surprisingly, I don't even have a silver or a gray box, so it's kind of cool getting something different this time. Let me go ahead and take the tape off, get the invoice out, and get it all set up for you guys here in just a second. Just wanted to show you that I got a gray or a silver box, and I've never seen one of these before. All right, we've got the top of the box off. All 17 coins are ready to be looked at. As a quick note, these are the 17 coins I have on this submission. There's 16 line items, but we have 2 of the second line item, the reverse of the 1878. So a handful of Morgan dollars, 1 V nickel, and a whole bunch of silver wartime nickels. 2 I hope to get full steps on. At least that's what I thought, so hopefully we get that. All right, that's the list. Let's start going through them and see what we got. So the very first coin should be a war nickel, a 1945 Denver. For those wondering, I have 8 war nickels on this submission. I'm trying to upgrade my registry or add to it because I don't have that many graded war nickels in a high grade. And I figured all of these were at least a 63. I was hoping for 65s or better on all of them, of course. And I have a couple that I'm hoping for full steps. This one I didn't hope for full steps. I put it down as an MS63 or better. Let's just go ahead and see what we got. And we got an MS65. It's a solid grade. Obviously on war nickels, you really need either full steps or you need them to be 66 or better to really make any profit on them after submission fees. But either way, we spent $27 on the submission, plus we spent a few bucks on this coin. So at the end of the day, I think we did pretty good. 1945 Denver, MS65. It is a beauty. Coin number 2 should be a 1945 Philadelphia, another beautiful nickel that I've had in my collection. And we got another MS65. Might be a bunch of 65s. Hopefully we can eke out some 66s. But either way, 1945 Philadelphia, MS65. Definitely a beautiful war nickel. And we'll take it and add it to the registry. Now we move down to 1944. This should be a 1944 San Francisco. Again, not full steps. A lot of these nickels did not have full steps. A lot of nickels aren't struck with full steps, but they definitely are beauties. Oh, and we got a 66 on this one. Love it. 1944S MS66. We'll take that all day. That's the grades we were hoping for. At least a 65, but a 66 is definitely welcomed. Nickel number 4 should be a 1944 Denver. And this is one of the ones I thought would have full steps. Now, if I do get it, I'll show it under the scope. If I don't get it, I'll probably still show it under the scope. We do want to scope a few of the coins today. But let's take a look at this 1944 Denver. Did we get a high grade and did we get full steps? We did get full steps. A little bit lower of a grade, of course, because we got the full steps. And you know, maybe it's not as nice as the other ones, but it's still a really nice nickel. 1944 Denver, 64 grade, full steps. Man, I needed a 65 full steps. Let's go ahead and put it under the scope here in a second, and we'll see what the steps look like. So I've got the nickel under the scope. They never look as good through the plastic, so bear with me. But what you're looking for is to make sure you have at least 5 or 6 lines. And you can see here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th was close, but they gave it to me. Sometimes you'll have that 6th line as well, and that'll be even better. But you need at least 5 lines from PCGS to get full steps. And even though the glare is not the best, we do have 5 visible lines, and I saw that, and so I figured they would give it to me. There was a little bit of a iffy one with this one right here, but we got the full steps designation. That makes me happy. And of course, like I said previously, we're not going to get the 65 with full steps unless it's an absolute stunner. And even though it's beautiful, of course, they knocked it down to grade to give me the full steps it feels like. 4 nickels so far, all doing well. The only lowest grade of them was the one with the full steps, and you still can't get mad at that. Next up is a 1943 San Francisco, and we didn't have any full steps designation on this one. Let's see how we did. Another MS64, a little bit less than I thought. Either way, we'll take it. 1943S, MS64, not a bad grade. Moving right along, we should have the 1943 Philadelphia, and I believe I said this one had full steps. I submitted 2 of these actually. One I thought had full steps and one I didn't think, so we have to make sure that we have them in the right order, and it seems like they do. Let's flip it around, see if I got the full steps on this 43P. We did not, but we did get a 66. 1943P MS66. Let's take a look at the steps and see if this is the one I thought had full ones. All right, based on what I see under the scope, I'm not seeing the 5 lines. It looks a little mushy right here and here. So hopefully the next one has full steps and they just have them out of order. But either way, I don't see full steps on this under the scope. And I thought that I had seen full steps, and I can't remember which one was which, but that's not full steps for sure. Still a nice grade, MS66, and you can't get mad at that. Let's just go ahead and double check the sister one. Should be another 43P, and lower grade, MS63. Still a nice grade overall, but let me just double check the steps on this one to see if I had them confused. No, this one I remember. It had the gash there separating the full lines, and it doesn't have full lines either way. Man, you miss some and you make some, but I must have thought that one had full steps with the loop, but it definitely doesn't have it when I look at it under the scope now. Unfortunately, we only got a 63 and we submitted them both, and because one, the lower grade. So probably just end up offering the second one up since I have a higher grade one now for my registry. The final war nickel should be the 1942 San Francisco. I thought this was an absolute stunner. Let's see if they agreed. They did. MS66, another nice grade. We did manage getting, 1, 2, 3 at 66, 2 at 65, 2 at 64, but 1 got full steps. And the only disappointment was this one at a 63. We're off to a pretty good start on the nickels. We have 1 nickel left, and it is the 1883 No Sense. And as I said in the onset of this video, I do have an NGC slabbed MS64. I don't have a PCGS one slabbed, so I'm hoping that that guy right there is at least a 64, although it looks better than the NGC slab, and I'm hoping for a 65. Let's see how we did. 1883, No Sense V-nickel. Absolutely beautiful. Did I get a 64 better? And more importantly, did I get a 65 or better? MS64. Dang it. I guess that's okay. We tied our highest graded one, and now we have one in a PCGS slab, but really wanted that 65. These jump a lot higher in the 65. I actually put down the value at $300 because I think they're like $275 or $300 at a 64. And I was hoping they would give me a 65 and I'd pay the extra fees. Not a bad nickel whatsoever. It's hard to get these in higher grade. Just wanted that 65, but it wasn't to be. That's it for the nickels. Give me just a second and then we'll go ahead and move on to the Morgans. All right, I had to quickly take a look at my registry. Sorry, I wrote that in the wrong spot. But the 1897S, I have a 53, and I'm hoping this one upgrades. And then the 1883O, I have a 63, and I'm hoping it upgrades as well. So we'll start off with the 1897 San Francisco. Definitely a beautiful coin. I could tell, even though it had good cartwheeling, it looked like it was lightly circulated. And so I really was hoping it would beat the AU53 I have slabbed. And when I compared it to it, it looked about equal, maybe slightly more detail, but also a little less luster. So we'll have to see how we do. We need a 53 or better to upgrade the registry. Anything less will just be an extra item down the road. Let's see how we did on the 1897S. Oh my goodness gracious. We got an AU50. It does have a lot of circulation dings. That's not just bag marks. This coin was lightly circulated for sure, but I still thought it would beat out a 53. I was thinking it was going to be an AU 55 or 58, to be honest, and we only got a 50. So that's a letdown. That's a letdown for sure for two reasons. One, it's even worth less than I thought, and two, it doesn't even upgrade the registry at all. Still a nice coin regardless. Man, AU50, that seems tough on this coin. Well, it is what it is. AU50, we're not going to upgrade our registry today. That's just another coin down the road we can offer up in the auctions. Next up is the 1891-0 VAM 1A Clashed E. Let's see how we did on this coin. Now, obviously, this coin is not in beautiful shape, and I knew that. And we expected somewhere between a high XF and a low AU on it. But I definitely wanted to submit it regardless because it is a nice VAM to have. The VAM 1A Clashed E. Let's see how we did. Yeah, they were tough on it. XF40, I still thought it was better than a 40, but I did get the top 100 VAM designation. VAM 1A Clashed E. And I think what I'll do is I'll put it under the scope to show you guys the VAM. But man, that's tough. Again, I knew it was probably high XF or low AU, but XF40 seems a little bit lower than I thought. Let me put it underneath the scope. We'll take a look at that VAM. Well, we got it under the scope, and this is one of the most awesome die clashes you will see. Take a look at that E under the eagle's tail feathers. It even extends by the arrows up here. You can see some more clashing. I wish it was higher grade, but I cherry picked this thing. I think I got it for like 40 bucks. So cherry picking it, getting a beautiful VAM for the collection, a top 100. That's cool. Unfortunately, again, we got the XF40, but what are you going to do about that? All right, let's move on to the next Morgan, and it's the 1888 VAM 18 doubled eyelid. And if I remember, this was actually in pretty nice shape, I thought. Yeah, this is one of the nicer ones I submitted. Let me get it out of the glare a little bit. Definitely has good luster, good detail on it, and it's definitely a cool VAM as well, and I'll show this under the scope as well. Let's see what we got on this. If I recall, I figured this was a low mint state for sure, but we haven't done very well so far, so let's see. You know what? Holy cow, I will take that. A hot 50 VAM, 18 doubled eyelid, MS64. This one has really cool toning on it. Probably hard to see on the camera, but definitely have some hues of purple and blue and yellow. Anyway, really nice coin. I was not expecting a 64. I'll be honest. I was hoping for a 63, maybe even a 62, but with the toning, I guess they figured it was nice enough. MS64 VAM 18 doubled eyelid. Wow, I will take that. I was not expecting that at all. Let's put it under the scope and take a look at that doubled eyelid together. Pretty obvious one. Definitely want to look for that. You can see we've got the doubled eyelid here. This should be a straight line without this doubling, and it's definitely an easy one to see if you can find it. And I believe I cherry picked this one as well and might have had it in one of my recent VAM videos. If I do have that, I'll go ahead and put that video up here for you guys to check out. MS64. What a beauty. What a beauty. And it's a hot 50. I'll have to look at the value at the end of that one as well, at the end of the video, and see what it's worth, because I don't recall at this point. All right, next one up is the VAM 21 line in the MPD 1886, and I did find this one in a recent VAM hunt as well. Let's take a look at it. You know, it definitely looks pretty good. I can't remember what I thought this one was. I'll definitely show you the line in the MPD in a second, but let's take a look at the grade together. Yeah, definitely about where I thought. I can't remember if I thought it was AU or low mint state, but I'm pleased with this. An AU 58 VAM 21 line in M MPD top 100. It's another beauty, but nice to get a mint state out of it, but I guess didn't quite qualify. Let's put it under the scope and take a look at that line in the MPD, and you guys will see what I'm referring to. Right there. This should just have the M there. It should not have this. This is supposed to be the dropped date. One of the 8s actually was dropped in there, and that's like the bottom curve of the 8. But a very cool VAM nonetheless. Not a bad grade. It's a slider. Probably could have got a 61 on it, but you know what? AU 58 on the top 100. I'll take it all day. The next coin is the 1883O. Now, I have the VAM 36A partial E reverse, but the highest graded 1883O I have is an MS63. So two things. A, we want the VAM designation, but more importantly, we need a higher grade than 63. Let's take a look at it together. It does have some crazy toning on this one, as you can see. I think it's a beautiful one. Of course, those that like them blast white, it's not going to be blast white, but it has definitely got some rainbow toning. 1883O VAM 36A partial E. How do we do? We did not get the VAM. MS63, we got double screwed on this one. Not only did I not get the VAM, I didn't get higher than my current MS63. This one should have a partial E on the reverse, and it should be under the eagle's tail feather. So I was looking at the screen, not at the scope. Let's take a look here together. I'm not seeing it as good now through the plastic, but you're looking for a little partial E under the tail feathers, and I thought I saw it. But you know what? Mistakes can be made. I'm not seeing it as clearly now. Either way, it's a nice coin nonetheless. I usually don't miss any VAM searches or any VAM submissions, I should say. And I missed this one, I guess, or they didn't agree with me for sure. Man. Well, what are you going to do? MS63, we didn't upgrade the registry. I'll have to take a look at the one I have to see if it looks better in a slab than this one. But we missed the VAM. All right. That takes care of that, Morgan. We have two 1879S reverse of the 1878. That's the more valuable one from that year. And then we have an 1878 7/8 tail feather strong VAM 3875. Give me just a second to compose myself, and I'll be back with those final three coins in just a moment. Before I show the next two coins, I want to give you guys a little information about them. The 1879S reverse of the 1878, and what you're really looking for is not only the eagle's breast, but also the arrow feathers. They should be parallel versus slanted. Parallel on the top feather, slanted on the second one is not what you're looking for. The more valuable one is the parallel tail feathers with the flat eagle's breast, and you can see it's kind of concave there versus being full. So that's what we're looking for, and even in lower grades, even in an XF40, they're a couple of $100, and they jump up pretty quickly as you move through the AUs. So I got these two coins in a bulk Morgan buy, and I want to say I paid about $45 or $50 for them a piece. And knowing that they were going to be the reverse of the 1878, I figured I might as well get them graded and authenticated, because even paying the $27 grading fee with $50 put into it, that's $77. And if I can get XF or better on them, which I believed I did, we'd have a couple $100 plus coin. The first one is the less nicer one, and I remembered I put them in nicer and then less nicer order, so hopefully that stays true to the order that they're here in the PCGS box. You can see that this coin's definitely got some circulation wear. It's in decent shape. It does have a little bit of luster. I was concerned about maybe a cleaning, but it definitely looked okay to me enough to submit it. We need at least XF40s or better on both of them, and that's what I'm hoping for. First one, XF45. That's probably a fair grade. Again, it might be a little light. It definitely looks a little better than XF40. To me, probably more like a, I guess XF45 to an AU53 is what I expected. And we did get the XF45. And an XF45 is about a $225 coin. And I'm all in for about $77 on this one. So can't get mad at that. That's definitely a respectable grade on it and about par for what I thought. Hopefully the second one is slightly better, because that's what I thought when I submitted them. A little more luster on this one. There is the ding above the eagle's head that you can see. A little slide mark there, but definitely a nice coin as well. And let's hope we get an AU on this one. We did crack AU barely. AU50. Reverse of 1878. Slightly nicer coin than the other one. A little better coloring. Little less wear, I guess, overall. AU50, I'm not familiar with the value on that one. yeah, it definitely jumps up quite a bit. We went from, what was it, $225, made $50 more on that coin. I guess recent sales are around 200, well, some are higher, but either way, definitely a nicer jump. Would have been nice to get AU53. That would have been another, what, $50 on top of that. We'll take it though. 2 expected grades on those, on a couple of cherry-picked ones, and we did just fine on those. The last Morgan and the last coin of this submission is the 1878 7/8 tail feather strong VAM 3875. What you're looking for on this one is 2 things. One, you got to make sure you have the 7/8 tail feathers like you see there. Clearly, you can see that the modified die, where they polished down the original 8 tail feathers they had on the original 1878s, and they made it 7 tail feathers going forward. So you're looking for that. And the second thing you're looking for is those little bit of die chips or die marks right there under the branch above the arrow feathers. There's like 3 little islands, if you will, right there. So that's what we're looking for on this one. And hopefully we got it. I'm pretty sure we got it because I did do all the diagnostics, although I have missed one this submission. Again, this coin is not in high grade. It has just enough detail that I thought it would definitely be an AU or better. And that's what we're hoping for. Let's take a peek. And we did get the 1878 7/8 tail feather strong VAM 38/7/5 AU53. I'm going to put it under the scope really quick, then we'll show the coin here in a second, but I want to make sure you guys can see what I saw. So there is clearly the 7/8 tail feathers. Definitely knew we had that one, and it is the strong variety because obviously you can see them clearly. And then we should have the little islands. There they are. Hard to see because of the toning and some of the wear, but we definitely have the little islands over here, and that's how I knew it was the VAM 38/7/5. Again, not a highly valuable coin, probably $150 or so in this grade, but we had to go ahead and get it attributed. I have the 36/7/5, and now I have the 38/7/5. I might actually have 2 of these if I recall. Unfortunately, we didn't get higher grades or didn't have higher grade examples to submit in the VAM designated Morgans from this submission. I know it was a lot of coins. I know we had a lot to go through. I know I rushed on some of them. I wish I could show them off longer, but this is already going to be a longer video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this PCGS unboxing video. I think we did good overall, especially on the ones I wanted to update in the registry. And we did get the VAM designations on the Morgans, save for the 1883, wherever it is now. But either way, I'm happy with this submission overall. Hopefully you guys are too. If you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting and thanks for watching.